The Disney news is on its way.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
We shine the light inside the park. Lights and laughter every ride.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas.
Past the news so clear. The Monorail Report is here. Jump aboard and feel the cheer. The Monorail Report is here. The Monorail Report is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain behind the yellow line on the platform or behind the gates once you disembark the monorail.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, September 25th, 2025, and man, I missed doing the show last week. Work just got in the way and wasn't able to do that. So that's all right. We are here today. Thank you all for joining, and we've got a bit of news, a lot of construction updates to talk about. So we're going to cover that. Cover a little bit of the news in Disney media, movies and TV. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Good morning, Sharon. Thank you for joining. So it's been a decent day here. Looks like the weather is the clouds, the fog is burning off. Yesterday morning was absolutely crazy. Couldn't even see like 2 feet in front of you. Here in North Carolina. So the weather is definitely changing now that we've gotten to fall. Speaking of the show schedule, I don't know what's going to happen next week. Now, next week I think we're on Thursday, so we're good. I was just looking because my birthday is next Friday, but I think I'm actually working that day, so we'll be on Thursday next week. So no worries there. All right, so let's cover some of the news. Lots of news, lots of updates in the parks and in Disney media, as I said. So today is the first day that Launch Bay has closed. It is officially closed yesterday as of 6 p.m. And so this whole area will remain closed through 2026. Of course, you know, Disney, they don't give very many updates as to a timeline, especially in the very beginning. I mean, we still don't even know a date for Big Thunder Mountain reopening. However, we do have what I think is a pretty close timeline of 2026. That means essentially even if we go to December of next year, you're talking 16 months before this whole area is revamped. And to me, that seems very quick for what the plan is for this area. So I'm actually excited. I was excited when they announced it. Of course, if you don't know, this will become the magic of animation. That building, excuse me, that building where Launch Bay is will mimic the buildings in Burbank. Which means we will also have a sorcerer's hat coming back to Hollywood Studios. I almost called it MGM. Which also means that that whole area gets revamped, including the famous Hollywood Studios archway going away to be more open like it is in Burbank. The Disney Junior Dance and Play area will also get revamped with a new show there. Launch Bay will turn into the magic of animation, which is going to be a really great attraction. And there's going to be, they're going to teach you how to sketch. There's also going to be a play place based on Alice in Wonderland. So you've got a lot of stuff going on back there that really wasn't happening in the current space. The Little Mermaid building you see on the left side of your screen, that is still staying. Voyage of the Little Mermaid is still open right now. Oh, that's not what it's called. That's the old one. So it is still open. There are walls all around it, but you can still get to the Little Mermaid show, which would be sad if they just reopened it. So they certainly were going to figure out a way to keep that open, including the stores that are there as well. So the stores are open. Little Mermaid is open, but the junior dance play area is closed. The courtyard is closed, and Launch Bay is closed. Hollywood Brown Derby also attaches to that building where the dance and play area is. Hollywood Brown Derby is unaffected. There is a side entrance there into the courtyard. That door obviously is not accessible to the courtyard. So here's another artist rendering of what that area is going to be. Just based on this alone, you're seeing a lot more people than you have seen before in that area. I remember we took pictures, some of us in the network took pictures together. There were 4 of us. And I mean, there was nobody was over there. Like, the only people that were over there, we had just gotten out of the Little Mermaid show. So, I think it's going to be great for that area. I really do. Really do. Good morning, Beach Fox Life. Good morning, Mom. Good to see you. So now we had hoped, there wasn't any notice of this until yesterday, honestly. But we had hoped that, you know, the 3 things that were over in Star Wars Launch Bay that people really went over for were the meet and greet. So you could meet Chewie, BB-8, and Darth Vader. So as of today, Darth Vader is meeting in the queue of Star Tours. So if you know that ride, you have the extended queue when the wait gets really long, and you're there underneath the trees and the overlook there. So that's essentially where Vader is meeting today. And he has scheduled times there, so it's not just like a pop-up like you have with Mandalorian. There are scheduled times for him all the way from, I think it's from 9 to like 5:30 or something. So very similar to what was in Launch Bay. The other thing you had was a Disney Visa card holder special photo op back there. That has gone away, obviously. But now Disney Visa card holders can meet Olaf almost like a lightning lane situation from 9 to 12. So they'll have a shorter wait. If you're a Visa card holder, you'll have a shorter wait to meet Olaf in his normal spot over there near kind of the ABC commissary area. So quick look at some of the Jollywood Nights merch coming to Hollywood Studios this season. Can't wait to get on into all the food and merch for the parties, for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and for Jollywood Nights. As soon as we know when that information is released, we will schedule it so that we can go over it on the DizPod. But yeah, very excited. Of course, this is the mascot for Jollywood Nights. And so he's got a spirit jersey, ears, a bag. I don't think that's a Loungefly. But you'll have plenty of merch coming your way. So stay tuned for that. So work is continuing on Tropical Americas. We know that we will have an Encanto ride, and the dialogue for that ride is being written by Jared Bush, who's the Disney Animation Chief Creative Officer. Roderick, good to see you. Good morning. The Chief Creative Officer for Disney Animation. So, to me, that just gives a little bit, I don't know who typically does the writing for attractions, but I would feel like if it's the chief creative officer that is writing it, or at least behind the writing of it, that says a lot to me. And so I think we're going to get a really, really good storyline out of this attraction. And he says, you will not believe what the Imagineers are cooking up. So I'm excited to see this. Encanto, although the movie came out years ago, is still very, very popular. Just look at the crowds in Disney Starlight when the Encanto float comes by. Look at when you have her meet and greets, when you get to see Bruno. I mean, people are still very excited for Encanto, so I know that this is going to be a really good attraction. And there you can see it is a boat ride, so it's really going to be a traditional dark ride from what we know. More to come. I would suspect we will get a ton of information at D23 2026. Although if Disney does anything like they did this past year, we may get it before them. But I think they're really going to keep all of that under wraps until D23 2026, which has me thinking about going to D23 next year. All right, in other park news, in the DVC Moonlight Magic updates, you have some additional dates added. So in 2025, you have Animal Kingdom with a date in October, November, and December. In the winter, you have some dates for Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Disney's California Adventure. The spring, you have Hollywood Studios, Typhoon Lagoon. And in the summer, you have Hollywood Studios, Typhoon Lagoon, and Epcot. So those are your dates for Disney Moonlight Magic. I'm not DVC, so I haven't been to any of them. I have seen a couple of these events, and it's pretty cool. Very similar to kind of the after hours that we pay for. You get free snacks and popcorn, Mickey bars, and soda and bottled water. So pretty similar. And then you have a lot of the characters that are out, and then obviously much lower wait times for all of the attractions. I remember seeing the Typhoon Lagoon event and thought that was pretty cool. And then we went to an after hours at Typhoon Lagoon H2O Glow Nights, and it was very similar to that experience. So I could see why people certainly like Moonlight Magic. They've also announced the Candlelight Processional. And so you have plenty of dates for your narrators, with some new ones this year, including Constance Wu, Jennifer Garner, Leslie Uggams, Henry Winkler, the Fonz, Lauren Daigle, Joel Smallbone, Brie Larson, and Cheryl Lee Ralph. So those are all new this year. And then you've got some returning ones, including Jordan Fisher, Ashley Eckstein, Ralph Macchio, Marley Maitland, Gary Sinise, Brendan Fraser. Those are two big ones right there in really the week of Christmas. Luis Fonsi doing December 23rd and Christmas Eve. And then Joel Smallbone gets Christmas and the day after Christmas. So who would you be excited about seeing there on that list? I don't know who would be maybe Gary Sinise, I think, for me. Your Alexa heard me talking about Oh, it heard me and started talking about Moonlight Magic. Yeah, I have that happens sometimes. And now it probably just did it again because I said her name. You're welcome. So very excited for this. We have a one-off special of The Muppet Show coming to Disney Plus next year, and the guest star is going to be Sabrina Carpenter. Finley loves Sabrina Carpenter, so I'm sure she's excited about that. I was excited about The Muppet Show. There have been a lot of rumors about this for a couple reasons. One, in the trade papers, they were hiring for actors for the Muppet Show. So of course that starts the rumors right away because I mean, why are you hiring for people for a pilot if you're not trying to bring a show back? And then there were also rumors that Seth Rogen was going to be producing the new Muppet Show series, and of course we thought it would be coming to Disney Plus. And so then Disney announces that there is a special coming to Disney Plus next year of the Muppet Show with guest star Sabrina Carpenter. The the strong rumor right now is that this will be a backdoor pilot. If you don't know what that is, that basically means it's a series, or excuse me, a special or a movie that could act as the pilot for a new series. So certainly as a huge Muppet fan, Kermit is my favorite Disney character. So certainly hoping that that happens. I will be very excited. And in fact, we just watched the original Muppet Show, the episode with, wow, her name just fell out of my head. Rita from Mom will know who I'm talking about. Actually, a lot of you will probably know who I'm talking about. Thank you, Spencer, for subscribing. I appreciate that. From West Side Story. I'm Rita Moreno. Wow. Yeah, so we watched that episode. She actually won an Emmy Award for that episode. So if you ever want to watch an episode, go watch that one. That one's pretty good. And then we watched the premiere episode of it, which was 78, I believe. 1978. And that episode was the premiere of Phenomena. So go watch that one too. That was fun. Finley enjoys it. All right, let's get back. So speaking of Disney Plus, there are some price increases coming to Disney Plus. Believe this starts in October. We're not talking a lot of money, but $2 and $3. So if you have Disney Plus with ads, it's going to go from $9.99 to $11.99. Disney Plus Hulu bundle with ads goes from $10.99 to $12.99. If you have the Disney Plus Hulu and ESPN bundle, that'll go to $19.99. And if you have the bundle with HBO, that's going to go to $32.99. Now, I say all that, but I want you to keep something in mind. Check with your cable provider, because we have DirecTV stream, not the satellite, but the streaming service. And we get DirecTV, or excuse me, we get Disney Plus and Hulu for free through them. I've also read that there are people that have Spectrum that are getting Disney Plus for free. So make sure to check with your providers, because if you can save $13 a month, absolutely worth it. And then maybe you get the bundle with ads for free, and then you pay to get it without ads. So you just pay the difference. Roderick says she was on Sesame Street for many years. Actually, she was on Electric Company, which is Sesame Street was my favorite show as a kid of those type of shows. Then Electric Company, and then maybe Mr. Rogers, and then 3-2-1 Contact, of those like PBS type shows. Jeremy Renner has stated that there are discussions happening for season 2 of Hawkeye, and that it will happen. So that's pretty cool because a lot of people were disappointed that the show ended after one season. I, full disclosure, did not see this. I did love the trailer for it because it included music from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So I do need to go back whenever I have some time and watch this series. Yes, with Morgan Freeman. Was this character Easy Reader? I think Easy Reader was the name of that character. Excuse me. There's a new Prep and Landing special coming out starting just in time for the holidays for Thanksgiving Day called Snowball Protocol. That'll be on Disney Plus, or excuse me, the Disney Channel, and then the following day, Disney Plus. So out on November 27th on the Disney Channel, and then the next day it'll be on Disney Plus. So make sure to check that out if you like the original Prep and Landing. All right, so let's talk about construction. So this is the Disney Lakeshore Lodge as seen from the boat dock at the Contemporary. So this, if you don't know, is going to be a huge, to me, absolutely huge resort, DVC. But if you know about DVC, at some point the rooms don't always sell out, and so they are available for you to reserve through regular Disney website. Like you're not going to see that right now with the new tower at the Poly, right? It's just too new. Everybody's waiting for it. The bungalows at the Poly, you're not going to see availability for that on Disney site. I read today that there's a waiting list like a year long for those over the water bungalows. So this is certainly going to be the same thing, but this is a huge resort that is being built on the former site of River Country, which is the first water park that closed for Disney and sat really abandoned for a long time. There was a very similar resort that was supposed to be built a couple years ago, and they ended up not building it. And then they announced this one. And to me, I think they are moving very quickly on this resort. It just seems like it is moving much faster than I would have anticipated. And maybe that's because of the last 6 years of projects moving at that pace. And so we've all gotten used to that pace. And so now when we see kind of a regular timeline or even maybe an accelerated timeline, it's like, whoa, what's happening here? So very excited to see that go up. I think that's going to be a beautiful resort with a ton of amenities. A crane has appeared at Dino Land, and it is a big one. That whole area, as you know, is being changed into Tropical Americas. The last things over there are Restaurantosaurus and Dinosaur. The original area where the I always forget the name of it because I never did that ride. The swirly roller coaster type thing. That whole area is closed. The Carnival Games is closed. We did that like right before that area was going to close. It was okay. But I'm excited for what's coming. This is going to be a great, great area over there. So now let's move to Hollywood Studios. Here is from BioReconstruct an overhead shot of what's going to be Monsters Inc. land, Monstropolis. We don't really have a proper name for it. It hasn't been given yet. But this is the old Muppet Vision 3D. You can see that the entire walkway, all the bricks, all the concrete has been torn up so that they can do infrastructure work. So if you look next to the Muppet Vision 3D building, you see those teal colored stuff. That's all infrastructure pipes and sewer to direct the water flow. So that's what's happening there, and I would assume that that has to do with the water fountain that's going to be there. But it could be something else. We just don't know. But there's a lot of work happening right now. And I'm excited to see just how much work is happening and the pace that it's happening at. And that it's happening in the daytime. Like they're drilling and they took down the Muppet store building and all that kind of stuff. Basically during operating hours, and at the bottom of the screen, that's the entrance. That's the Grand Avenue entrance there to Muppets. And there was work happening right on the other side of that scrim wall. So they are working at a great speed. Now, way behind that Muppets area, this is where the building for the coaster is going to be. Which I think is funny because you have a street there. So I guess to get to the coaster, we're going to cross the street. No, obviously they're going to redirect that road somewhere else. But there is a lot of work going on here, folks. And I don't think, we're going to be waiting until 2033, like some people are saying, to see this area really come to life. I think it's going to be much faster than that. And here you can see this kind of shows you the scale of what that building is going to be. I'm going to say it's probably about the size, and somebody could look this up, I'm sure. This thing is probably going to be the size of like the building that we see for Guardians. Like this is going to be one heck of a structure. So, I mean, if you look, this is being built in the parking lot. So it really is extending the size of Hollywood Studios and taking over cast parking. And it is massive. It is massive. From what I can gather as we look at this picture, that building that's near that piece of equipment there, I believe that building is Rise, and then the building next to it is Smuggler's Run. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would, from that, I would think that that's what it is. Which always seems funny because it's like you have to walk through those trees on the right-hand side. Then you make the right turn to come into the building. So that's what I think it is. Unless that whole thing is Rise, and maybe it is, I don't know. But I just think it's funny how close that building is to the Muppet Vision 3D theater. But that is massive. If you compare it to that building, if that is Rise, you compare that to that building, that is a massive building coming. So lots of work being done. I'm excited for it. More construction news over at Tropical Americas, as we talked about in Animal Kingdom. You have the Encanto attraction coming. You have a carousel coming. You have food and shops coming. It's going to be a great area. Very little is known as of right now. Again, I think D23 next year, we're going to get all those updates. But they are working because they had so many little phases as they were clearing out the old Dino Land area. They were able to start working on this. So in the middle of the screen, you see the scrim walls on the left and right. So you can walk in between the restaurant and to get back to like the Finding Nemo show. And so there's work happening all throughout that entire area. And then here, you know, I know new construction of residential, not really much of commercial. But what this looks like to me is that they are forming the foundation for the building. So you can see kind of walls there with framing up behind it. And I think those are the forms for the building. So lots of work happening there. Really excited to see that area come to life. Disney's not the only one with plenty of construction. Here you can see how much they've cleared out over at Universal Studios of Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Again, unless somebody has heard something different, let me know in chat or in the comments. I don't think we have an update on this yet, but I think they've just said that it was going away. I don't think they've said anything about what's replacing it. I know that there are rumors as to what's replacing it, but I don't think there was anything concrete yet. But again, massive area being cleared out. You can see just the size of that area from these aerial shots, and this is all BioReconstruct, who always does a good job. They kept us updated all the time on Epic Universe, and so they are doing the same thing with all this work going on right now. So glad to see it. Progress, as Disney himself said, you know, you can't move forward without progress. So we've got some good stuff happening. I think we are all going to benefit from it, both from the updates at Epic and Universal Studios and Disney as well. I think they all benefit together. So let's talk about the network real quick. So the Disney Streamer Network continues to roll on. We've added a couple new channels. One of the new channels we added is Disney with Sean, who does great work. He is a very early morning streamer. So if you wake up at 7:30 and you want to see Animal Kingdom, this is your guy. Believe he's still live now. When I found his channel, he was on his second ever live stream. Okay. Second live stream ever. And so he's certainly working through just getting to understand live streaming, right? I'm sure that there are a lot of people outside of this community that think that live streaming is just pick up your camera and, you know, okay, this is it, I'm filming. That's not the case at all. There's a lot of work that goes into live streaming. And Sean does a great job. Sean has been very open with his experience. He will tell you on stream that he is neurodivergent and has autism, and so he deals with those battles. And I think that it is great for him to be as open as he is with that, because I think that he's probably helping somebody else realize that even though you have those challenges in life, you can still, he's got his master's. He's a tax analyst. He went to school, got his master's. But Disney is his passion, and sharing that with the world is his passion. So to see him do what he's doing, I think is phenomenal. When I found him, I know he had less than 100 subscribers. He's now just under 500 subscribers. So he is moving along very well. Again, as I said, he does very early morning streams, which is really nice, very relaxing, good way to start the day off. So make sure to check out Disney with Sean. His name is Sean Wow, and he does a great job. And so I'm gonna just peek in. He's currently at 469 subscribers. So yeah, give him a check and see. Oh, he just ended. So give him a check and see. Start your mornings out with him. He is on a 121 day live stream challenge. So he wants to stream every day up until New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So be sure to check him out. Then we also have so these are our current socials. So Facebook, we have 187 followers there. Instagram 135, Threads 39, TikTok 33, and the YouTube channel for Disney Streamer Network has 31. Good afternoon, Murray. Good to see you. Murray's another one of our channels in the network. He will be going live from Disneyland Paris. Is that this weekend, Murray? Let us know. I think that's this weekend. So if you want to see Disneyland Paris, check in with Murray's Adventures or just watch on dsn.disneystreams.com and you can check in on all the parks at one time. We also have started, if you're on Facebook, I started a group called the Disney Livestream Connection. And this is for live streamers, those that want to watch live streamers, just a way for us to connect. And this thing has really jumped out. There's, I think, 87 people in the group right now. And I did not really promote it or anything like that. But yeah, so if you are on Facebook and you like Disney and you want to connect with Disney live streamers or other people in the community, make sure to join that group. Disney live streamers is the name of that group. Yeah, Disney live streamers. So that group is doing very well. I tend to post, some fun stuff in there, like this one. So I posted that today. So can you guess what that abbreviation is? So that was fun. There's a few of them that Disney put out, so I shared them. I figured we'd start with an easy one. That's a pretty easy one. You can kind of get it. But there's a few that I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. So we'll have some fun with those. Murray says, yes, he'll be there tomorrow. We'll be there from tomorrow. Perfect. So this weekend, Disneyland Paris, Murray's Adventures will be there. Make sure to check out Murray. Thank you for sharing Disneyland Paris with us. I think it is a beautiful park from what I've seen of it, and can't wait to see even more. All right, so let's see who in the network is on today. Yeah, I'm excited about seeing what's happening on the holidays coming up. So looks like Disney Magic and Mayhem is currently live at Animal Kingdom. Right now, Magic Adventures is scooting around Disney World. That starts at 1 o'clock. Obviously, we are live. And then tonight, Sierra, Cruise and Theme Park Guide, she's going to be at Epcot tonight at 6 o'clock. Score Jason has us covered at Hollywood Studios at 6 o'clock. The 927. Oh, I may have to tune into this one. The 927 has their episode 12. That's Cakes and Kenny J. They are talking the 80s. Let's talk the 80s. So get out your neon colors. Go grab a glass bottle of Yoo-Hoo That's for you, Mom. Strawberry? No, you like chocolate. Did you like strawberry too? I don't know. I would take any of them. There's even a banana one. The banana one is good. They don't sell those anymore. They just went chocolate. Anyway, Cakes and Kenny J, Let's Talk the 80s. That's at 7 o'clock. Victor Naraki, our realtor from Disney World, he is talking with a buyer tonight about their experience about moving to the area. That's at 7 o'clock. And then 3:30 in the morning, our time, East Coast time, that's when Murray is going to be live over at Disneyland Paris. So that's what's so nice about having Murray, because you could have somebody in Disneyland, they might end at midnight their time, which is 3 o'clock our time here on the East Coast, and then Murray starting a half hour later. Like 23 and a half hours of the day, you can have Disney in your life. Disney Streamer Network really is doing a lot for a lot of people. So love, love, love it. And then this weekend, we've got plenty of creators going live. Theme Park Giant tomorrow. Zippity Doo Doug, excuse me, tomorrow morning. Pile Adventures, who's the creator of the Multiview, he is going live from Animal Kingdom on the 27th. Score Jason will be at Epcot. Mystic Parks will be at Magic. Living in Diz will be at Magic. Murray's Adventures again from Paris. Mouse Talk from Magic on Sunday. Piles heading to Magic on Sunday. Jason will be there on Sunday. And Christy PH Disney will be at Disneyland. Heist Piano celebrating 5 years of live streaming. That's on Sunday afternoon. And then, of course, Pete wraps it up with Disney Insomniacs. And he will also have on Sunday, hey, Paige, good to see you. How's your vacation going? Are you back home yet, or are you still on vacation? Pete will have his Insomniac show as he always does, doing phenomenal with sports. Like Thad was telling me the other day, Pete had like 700 people watching baseball. And understand, Pete is not showing the actual game. Pete can only give you the audio of the game. He can't show it for copyright reasons. So he's showing you what's called the game day, or the 3D animation of the game as it's happening. No one is tuning in for that. They're tuning in for Pete and how Pete is calling the game and how Pete is interacting with you. And you just want to watch the game with Pete. Even a nationally broadcast game. I watched the All-Star game, for example, with Pete. Oh, you're still there. You did AK this morning and taking a break. Sounds good. The All-Star game, nationally broadcast. It was on Fox or whatever it was on. The Home Run Derby on ESPN. The majority of us could see that, but we tuned into Pete because we want to watch the game with Pete. That's the difference. That's why this community is as big as it is, because of creators like Pete who bring you something so different than what you normally get. And it's like watching the game with your friends. So yeah, he will be live obviously this weekend, but Sunday he's going to have Sierra from Cruise and Theme Park Guide on the Triple C show. So make sure to tune into that. She is a huge help to the streamer network. She's very innovative. She's come up with a ton of stuff. And so it's going to be great to get to tune in and see her. So, yeah, busy weekend for the network for sure. But very, very excited for all of that. All right. So that's going to do it for me. Next week should be at 11 o'clock. Make sure to set your reminders. And I don't know if I have... nope, I guess I don't have it. I was going to put in the link for DSN. But make sure to check out all the creators in the Disney Streamer Network. These folks are working hard to bring you every bit of Disney that they can. Shout out to our guy Thad, Theme Park Giant, who would have been live today, except he's had bad case of the allergies for about a week. And so it is, I know, eating him up alive to just be sitting in the house and not be in the parks. So hopefully he'll be back out there tomorrow. He says he's feeling a little bit better, but just needs to be very careful with allergies. So feel better, bud. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me. Again, tune in to this channel next Thursday at 11 a.m. for more Monorail Report. And I will be producing the Living in Diz live stream this Saturday. We should have our Diz Vision Ultra 4K running again. And then on Tuesday on the Diz Pod on its channel, we will be talking to Journey into Magic. So that's going to be fun, little collaboration. And it's actually National Podcast Day that day. So that's pretty cool to be able to celebrate while being on a podcast. All right, folks, it's been great to be here with all of you. I missed you all last week. So glad that you have tuned in. Did you get the cliff baits? No, the clickbaits. So no, I don't have any clickbaits for you this week. I mean, I was very surprised. There were a few that I saw, but nothing that really like jumped out at me. And I thought, oh, okay, they're calming down. But I will give you this one since you asked. Amid Frontierland makeover, Disney changes Country Bear Jamboree again, it says. So, yeah, that didn't really happen. That's your headline. So what had happened is the bear, and of course I just forgot her name, comes down on the swing. She wasn't working. just wasn't working. And so, you know, the door doesn't open, the swing doesn't come down, she doesn't come out of the area. And so they made this whole big thing of it. And I like, it wasn't that big a deal. Because guess what? She's back. She's back. But you know them. They got to make a big deal of it. Drives me crazy every time I see something silly like that. There was another one. Disney World announces Guardians of the Galaxy ride getting makeover this month. One of the newest rides. They said it's getting a makeover this month. You know what that makeover was? The makeover happened 4 days ago. On the 21st of September. That's all it was. But here they are. Trying to do it again. Another one, classic Jungle Cruise closing soon. Fans won't see it again until 2026. The classic Jungle Cruise closing soon, according to them, and we will not see it until 2026. It just had a refurb recently, right? Why is it refurbing again? It's not refurbing. This happens every year, folks. Jungle Cruise closes, and it becomes Jingle Cruise. That's all. Nothing major. It just becomes Jingle Cruise. They add the Christmas decor. The skippers have Christmas hats. They make the script is changed. I say script, but it's not. It's a loose script. Changes to Christmas-based jokes. That's it. That's all that happens. But of course, they make a big deal of it. Anyway, there. See, I told you I didn't have any. I had 3. All right, folks. Great to see you all. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate any time that you spend within the Disney Streamer Network. And if there's ever anything I can do to help, or if you have any channels that you think should be in the network, or if you have any questions about the network, or if there's ever anything you think that the network should be doing, reach out to me. Reach me on Instagram, the Park Bros, I believe. Email me, the Disney Streamer Network at gmail.com. Find me in a stream. Just let me know, because we're doing this all to bring more to you. So if there's something that we can do to help, then absolutely let me know. And I will tease it again. We have the Disney Streamer Network games coming up soon. It's almost like the old Battle of the Network Stars. But we're not going to do any of that Olympic stuff. But we've got some good stuff coming up. I have some cool ideas as to what to do for that. And so I think we'll be starting that. I think the first one will probably be in November before it gets like busy. But I also want it to be cooler so that the streamers that are out there doing these events are not having to do it in the heat, the Florida heat. So we'll wait a little bit for that, but we are starting to put together some stuff. We'll keep score. And what's great is that Pyle and I came up with the idea of using the multi-view for this. So let's say it's Living in Diz and Myers and the Mouse and Resort TV 1 facing off against each other, completing some task. So you'll have the three of them, 1, 2, 3, and then I will be the fourth one on the screen calling the game, calling the event, and keeping score. So my screen will have the score on it and that kind of thing. So we're going to have some fun with that. So any ideas for that you have, send them my way. We're going to make this a lot of fun, and we'll start it in November, and it'll just keep going. All right, folks, it's been great being here with all of you. I will see you all later. Make it a great Disney day. I'll see you in some of those streams later on.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.